Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Allegheny Northern in N scale. And today is Thursday afternoon. Got home from work just a little bit early. Went in just a little bit early and decided with that extra time, I am going to spend it down in the train room, running trains, working on some small projects. And wanted to share with you during this time the results of a most recent poll that we took on the communities tab of the channel. So if you have not checked that out, we are using the communities tab to post different polls and occasionally some, I'll call it behind the scenes, still photographs of projects I might be working on. So if you don't want to wait till the monthly review at the end of the month, there's always the communities tab to see what's going on. And I will admit I have not been as diligent in posting there as I expected to, but things got a little busy, and you know how that goes. Anyway, the most recent poll that I had posted was what level of modeler do you identify as, essentially? And the options were expert level. Basically, you can do it all, build it all, sing it all, and there's nothing more for you to learn. Then, of course, there was the intermediate, which is, hey, you're pretty decent, but, always something to learn. Then there was the beginners, new to the hobby, just trying some things out, maybe first layout. And then, of course, there was the fourth option, which was, you found the channel while drunk YouTube surfing and, just kind of hung around, which is okay. You're welcome here just as much as anybody else. And there's about 5 or 6% of you that click that. So at least 5 or 6% of the audience likes to party. So that's not a problem. Anyway, top earner getting the highest percentage at over 50% was, that's right, the intermediate level. And of course, there's no surprise there. For most of us, we probably fall in that intermediate category because there's something we're not good at. For me, it's probably DCC. That's my kryptonite. Still learning how all the DCC stuff works and the variables. And I'll be honest with you. I am simple consistent on all of my locomotives. They all share an address. I haven't played with all of the different features that are actually becoming a little more important now with the sound equipped locomotives. You want to hear that engine rev up before it actually starts moving. So I am learning more about that. But for me, that's a beginner step as far as sound goes. Sound started here only last year, and DCC the year before that. So relatively new to this layout. In any event, so most of you go in the intermediate category. Yep, I get it. There's something you still want to learn. Maybe, it's track planning is not your strong suit. Maybe it is scenery, not your strong suit. Hell, maybe it's getting trains to stay on the track because your track work sucks. I get all of that. That makes sense to me. And you're not alone. Everybody on this channel probably suffered with something, is suffering now, or did in the past, and learned how to basically fix it and become an expert at it. So for those of you in the intermediate category, you are not alone. You're with most of the folks on YouTube. Now, the next biggest category was the beginners. So whether you're sitting there with your first 4x8 sheet of plywood, doesn't matter what scale you're in, you're just learning the ropes. Makes sense that would be the next biggest category. And so if you are in that category and you are just learning the ropes, then you've come to the right place because YouTube is full of information. Other people that have done it, think people that are behind you in skill, people that are ahead of you in skill, and people that in general will have ideas different than yours that you can take from. So if you see scenes that you like, if you see models that you like, if you see anything that looks like something that you'd want to get into, YouTube is great for that kind of inspiration. So that's perfect that you're here. I think sometimes we get afraid to ask questions, especially if you see a layout that's larger, that runs a lot better than yours maybe. You kind of get intimidated and you're like, well, boy, I really don't want to ask any questions because this is out of my league. I'm going to tell you need to stop that train of thought, and you need to get on the train of thought that, hey, Somebody is doing something better and or nicer than me. What are they doing? I think you'll find that the community on YouTube, especially for model railroaders, is pretty helpful, and they are also. It's not like getting into, say, a political debate with somebody on Facebook. This is a lot more supportive group, and basically everybody's here for the same thing, and that is learn the hobby. So, if you are in the beginners group and you are trying to learn the hobby, YouTube is a great place to ask questions either in someone's community tab or on their video. Never be afraid to post a question to somebody because chances are they're going to help you out. Okay, so that leads us to the expert level. Roughly 9 to 10% of you said you are expert level. So for me, expert level means you've mastered carpentry, you've mastered wiring, you've mastered your DCC, and your scenery is top notch. On a single mistake, you can put a camera on your locomotive and it looks like you are on the real thing. Makes sense that not a lot of people are going to achieve that level. And you can be an expert in certain things and not everything else. So maybe you've got this beautiful layout, but it's built on framework that looks like a 2-year-old put it together with screws. Okay, I mean, your scenery might be beautiful, but if the substructure is not, well, may not be expert level yet. Modeling is a lot of artwork, whether you're building scenery, whether you're weathering. So I think when most people go expert, they look at the models and the scenery and the end results. And there's a lot to it. Is your wiring clean? Is your wiring neat underneath the layout? Where are all of your locomotives programmed, and can you get in there and can you repair them if something goes wrong? Do you have a maintenance program? There's a lot of things that make up expert level, and I would expect probably roughly around 10% of you probably do have all that stuff, and that is your level. So from those folks who have achieved that master level modeling, there's this channel and other channels are perfect places for you to share with the entire community what you've learned, the pitfalls that you've had, the mistakes that there are others probably making right now watching this video, and you can learn from it. So I always encourage open dialogue on the videos. If you see something, say something. Definitely applies here, but kind of in a good way. So if you see something as far as scenery goes, that hey, that's really cool, hey, that's not really cool, or you've got people that are commenting down below that want to talk about something, I encourage you guys to engage, obviously, in good civil discourse. For those of you who need to take the criticism, take the criticism. For those of you who are just learning, it's all good stuff, right? So that was the breakdown. Most of you at the intermediate level, yeah, that's great. That's kind of what I would have expected. It's where most of you probably should be. For those of you who are at the beginners, welcome to a fantastic hobby. Hopefully you're finding a lot of enjoyment and you're finding a lot of fun with the stuff that's on YouTube. And for those of you who are advanced and who have made it all the way to the top, don't forget to help out those that are at the bottom, that are maybe learning new skills, and continue to grow and keep this hobby going. It is a great hobby. I think if you can get somebody they don't have to be younger than you, they can be older than you, and you can get them interested in this hobby, that's fantastic. And if it's not this hobby specifically, I think just being in the model building hobby in general, to create something, whether it's dioramas or building a rocket ship or car model, just so that you are doing something that's not involving a screen all the time. I think that's fantastic. So that's where it broke down. I hope that was insightful for you and gives you some encouragement that if you are in either the beginners or the intermediate group, that there are others like you. And if you're just drinking and having a good time, hey, there's at least 5 or 6% of you that are doing that too. So you're still in good company. Okay, until the next video, next poll here. This is the Allegheny Northern, and as you can see, if you watch some of the other videos, we're running smooth tonight.